All right, let's dive into the pretty wild world of cybersecurity. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on how a modern digital fortress gets built, piece by piece. And then stick around, because there's a really surprising twist in how that whole strategy gets scaled up.
So let me just start by asking you a question. When you think about your digital life, all your data, your accounts, is it a fortress, or is it maybe more like a house of straw, just kind of waiting for a threat to come along and blow it all down? How you answer that really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about.
And trust me, this isn't just some hypothetical threat. To really get a sense of the stakes, just look at this number. 4 million. That's how many cyber attacks are happening on average every single day across the globe. It's a non-stop, 24/7 barrage that businesses are constantly up against.
So that brings us to what we're calling today's digital battlefield. And the big idea here is that the whole game has changed. We've moved way past the old days of just panicking when something goes wrong. Now, it's all about being prepared so it hopefully never does.
And this slide really nails that difference. On one side, you've got reactive panic. That's the stuff you see in movies, right? Alarms are blaring, everyone's running around, and they're trying to figure out how bad the damage is after the attack is already over. But the new way, proactive defense, is more like being a chess grandmaster. You're always thinking 5 moves ahead, spotting threats and neutralizing them before they even get a chance to make a move.
Okay, so how do you build one of these digital fortresses? Well, just like a real castle, it's all about the layers. We're going to start with the outer walls, those first lines of defense that are built to stop the most common and loudest attacks. And that first layer is DDoS protection. The easiest way to think about this is like having a digital bodyguard for your website. A DDoS attack is basically a giant automated mob trying to crash to your front door all at once, blocking any real customers from getting in. And the cost of being offline like that, it can be absolutely massive. This bodyguard service just steps in, absorbs all that nonsense, and keeps the door open for business.
Now, what's really interesting here are the economics behind that protection. The whole approach we're looking at is designed to make this kind of top-tier defense more affordable. You can see the cost is way lower than what competitors are charging, and that's a huge piece of the puzzle.
So, the next layer in our wall is something called a Web Application Firewall, or WAF. If DDoS protection stopped the mob at the front gate, the WAF is like the super intelligent security system inside, scanning everyone who tries to get in. It's looking for those sneaky, technical attacks that are trying to get at the really sensitive stuff, like your customer data.
This right here, this quote, is a real eye-opener. 85% of breaches happen because hackers are exploiting weaknesses that the company already knew about but just hadn't fixed. Think about that. Most attackers aren't using some secret new trick, they're just walking right through unlocked doors. And that perfectly sets up our next service.
So how do you find those unlocked doors before the bad guys do? Simple. You hire the good guys to try and break in first. This is what's called ethical hacking, and they follow a very clear process. They start with reconnaissance, basically doing their homework on the target. Then they scan and probe the system, looking for those exact kinds of weaknesses. After that, they carefully try to exploit them to actually break in, but in a totally controlled way. And then, the most important part, they give you a detailed report that says, here are all your unlocked doors, and here's exactly how to fix them. It's like a fire drill for your security.
But hey, a fortress with the strongest walls in the world is pretty useless if there aren't any guards on patrol, right? And that brings us to the next critical piece, the human element, the active monitoring that's happening around the clock.
And this is the nerve center of the whole operation, the Security Operations Center, or SOC. It's a team of experts working 24/7, 365, using some seriously powerful tools to look through an unbelievable amount of data, over 1 million security events a day, all to find that one tiny signal that could mean trouble.
And what are they looking for? Well, pretty much everything you can imagine. They're hunting for someone trying to use stolen passwords, for malware and ransomware trying to sneak in, even for threats from the inside, like a rogue employee trying to steal data. They're even on the lookout for brand new, never-before-seen attacks.
But here's the thing. For all this incredible technology, the biggest weakness often isn't digital at all. It's us, people. Get this statistic, 90%. The vast majority of security breaches don't start with some crazy hack. They start with a simple, tricky email, a phishing attempt.
And this is where the solution gets really clever. If your people are the biggest risk, then you have to make them part of the defense. It's this idea of the human firewall. By training employees and even sending them fake phishing emails to test them, you can cut the risk of a breach by a huge margin. You're basically turning your biggest vulnerability into your first line of defense.
Okay, so we spent all this time talking about building the fortress and guarding it. But now we're going to take a hard left turn. Because it turns out there's another side to this business model that's not just about protecting clients, but about creating partners.
So, let's just quickly recap the value here. We've seen the services, and this table lays it all out. Lower costs, much faster response times, and a really solid track record. I mean, on paper, this looks like a very competitive security company. But that's not the whole story.
And this is the big twist. Ask yourself this. What if the real business here isn't just about building these digital fortresses one by one for clients? What if it's about selling them the blueprints to build their own? This question completely changes how you look at the entire strategy.
And here's what that looks like: a franchise model. It's actually pretty brilliant when you think about it. Instead of just hiring more and more security experts themselves, they empower other people to do it. They provide the tools, the leads, the training, the whole shebang. And in return, their partners get a huge commission on every service they sell, all with a one-time investment and no royalties.
And that's what I want to leave you with. You know that old saying about selling shovels during a gold rush? Well, in our modern digital world, with threats popping up literally everywhere, is the ultimate business model not just defending against those threats, but selling the very tools and blueprints for security to everyone else? It's something to think about.